I wish I knew your name. But I get messages from you now and then. You gotta get your shit right with Jesus Christ, or whatever, blah blah blah. And I hear you talking about your taxes, how you claimed this and that, but society didn't do whatever. And I listened to it and everything, and I'm intrigued. But I don't know what your name is. I know you know who you are. You're the one who, if things go right, will make me the first lady someday. And if I am, I swear I will go tits out into a public school and talk about the Holocaust. I'll be straight up. I'll tell all the theories and truths of every scheme through time, and I will be super great like that if you want, or whatever. I'm flattered that you picked me. You're like on a boat. This is what I get. You're on a boat, and there are 8 women who are all Pirate King of the boat. Is this right? And you have lots of sagas. Are you? It freaks me out because I think you're someone I know from now and the past who changes, but I don't think you are. I think that person hands me off to you. Does anybody know? There's a dude on a boat. A boat with, there's 8 women who are like sadistic, like leaders, so, like they're breeding with all the men on the boat. It's an aircraft carrier or something. It's an island. It's a U.S. naval ship. 8 women run it, and they're fucking crazy. They're fucking all the men and having babies. But there's this dude on the boat who's like, I'm gay. I won't. And they really want him to because it's really hot. But he won't. He talks to me. He's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gay. I just don't want to fuck them. So I've just been fucking dudes. But I swear, when I come home, I'll fuck you. It's just funny. I mean, it's like, it's morbid, but it's funny because it's like, he says that if I get myself right with Jesus Christ, we're gonna become, like, he's gonna retire from the Navy or whatever, get off this pirate ship, and he's going to marry me, and he's going to make me the first lady. Maybe. Here's the thing, it's like, he claimed single on his taxes, but like, then like paid as a married person. Or the opposite. But then when it comes to the end of it, they're like fucking him over because he's like, I was single all these years. I was in the Navy, but I was intending to marry this woman at the end, so I wanted to retroactively pay for like the marriage rate at that point. Given that social services and like civil society gave her everything she needed her life until I retired, I would agree that I would pay this tax. I was like, oh, that's the kind of dude I would be in love with. It's like, just laying in bed listening to him argue with like the IRS about taxes, and then he's like, but seriously, like, if she is not enjoying her life, and if she has a shit life, and if by the time I retire, she's broken and I can't use her, and marry her and become the president, then all bets are off. And like, then the money is different, because the money that he's paying in taxes is like supposed to assure that those tax dollars are giving me a life worth living until he retires. He's retiring soon, I think. Like, I hope. T-minus 10 years, and my Navy was captive pirate. Man being held captive by pirates, potentially on an aircraft carrier, will rise to power with his busy, misogynistic, very young wife, and then have a bunch of babies, build utopia, there's a loser king, and like, yes, it's all true. The secret societies. I'm not public enemy #1. I'm not at every watch list, but more than that, I built the watch list. Man, I am the watch list. how many public agencies must have a file on me? Teams to worry about what is it? My dad was CTV's socialist. It was a joke. It was a real joke. He figured that out after he died, but he just want to talk about CTV. It's a cartoon in like Asia. They make fun of this man who's like drunkenly talking about socialism. That's my dad. I went on his show the day I got pregnant with Kai, or like that week I got pregnant with Kai. I'll post that. I'm glowing, and I'm just like, I never would have done this before. I don't even know why I'm here. I just wanted her to know, like, I really care about what's happening in China. I've never looked more beautiful. I was like, oh, I knew I was pregnant. But then I was like, I just got pregnant like 2 days before that or something. Followed the guy around for 2 weeks to get a half gallon of cum. Like, I really just want to make sure not only that I get pregnant, but that I have a good sample. I want the best one. And then it was like, bye. He's like, well, that's great because I'm married. That's great because I don't like you much. He stalked me for like a year before that. Then one day I was like, no, he really would be a good baby, and he's offering. He saw me in Wisconsin, rainbow gathering. He said he came to Michigan because we met and he liked me, so we did. Then he comes to Michigan and he follows me and stalks me for like 6 months. And that's my birthday. I'm in a hammock all day and I'm talking to someone. James. It was James. Is the person who comes and greets me, and we had just been spending the whole day giggling and like in our own weird, like beautiful language. And then Don Turner comes in. Do you want to make a baby? I think he was mad at my mom, like excessively mad at her. He was like, what I'm gonna do is ruin her life because this is what she would hate. But he was like, do you want to make a baby? And he just, yes! And then 2 weeks to cum extraction. Kai. And like, that's really cool because it's like, I don't know. He moved mountains to make sure me and Kai had everything we needed, but he's like, is he a ghost? Is he an angel? All I know is I could spend days just feeling his love and needing nothing, and then he goes away. When he's there, it's like, this is the best. And so it's like I was caught up in a 2-day fling of loving James, and then Don Turner walks in. Do you want to make a baby? Yes. Months I've been like, get away from me. But he's Russian and Alaskan, and like also like Midwest. He's got like some Nebraska kind of like white people, and then he's got Alaska Native, and then he's got boronic Russian. Seriously. So we just have like the very most perfect genetic crossing. Which is something I registered. This is actually really good breeding. Because we're from opposite sides of the globe, but he's from both sides. Yupik and Athabaskan. A bit of a Alaskan mutt, but like he's boron all the way. I didn't appreciate that at the time, but anyone who knows the Boronites, you're wet with jealousy, aren't you? Everyone is wet with jealousy. If you knew what I was talking about, you would be. Basically, I'm carbon. Some people are boron. There's not many of them left, but the ones that are left, when you come across one, you won't understand why, but you'll be taken with them. They're beautiful. They're funny. They move beautifully, and they're like become our idols. There's so many. There's so few of them, but there's a group of like 8 people, Boronites in Veterans Park last summer. They were living in the garage, the parking garage at GRCC. They're illegal immigrants from Russia, and they were like, just like, they couldn't go to the shelters and shit, but they were like, yeah, take stuff from whatever. It's just like they didn't need to consume. Like we here, we are suffering from consumption. We eat and ingest. Boron is like they're very stable where they are. They need a little intake. They need a little from the outside. So they were living in this parking garage and they were making really low impact on it. But like everyone who knew they were there was really like, I love these people. So the Ellis parking company, they would go there multiple times a night to that parking garage and they would surveil it just for them, just to make sure that no one was messing with them. This group of like 8 people, like illegal immigrants, no resources, nothing to do. I think they may have been given like instructions to do something, but they're just like, nah, we're gonna do our own thing. But like when I see them move, and it's like, how are they moving? How are they so beautiful? Something about them makes you just like fall down. But it's like, don't do that. It's awkward. What you should do is just like, just be thankful they exist and like let them live, like. So my son, I believe, is boron because his dad is from Siberia and he's like boron. Like that's why I thought he was different. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And it's like that's probably one of his problems his whole life is that he's one boron separated from everyone. Like these 8 were very lucky to have found each other. Ellis Parking Company knows that, and they protected them for like a year in that parking garage. I don't know where they are anymore, but we designed the strategic trading team of Michigan, which is an underground stock exchange that can only be done by people in Michigan, but they don't have to have social, or they don't have to be legit. Refugees, illegals, whoever. So you can, what we do is, so Chicago to Detroit, they send information through Michigan. They won't let us look at it. We don't need to look at it. So at 11 a.m., after they've made first bets, we make our decisions. And this is just inside of Michigan. It's just what we know. We're like betting that we have a hand in absolutely every product in the world, every material, every scheme. It's in our streets. It's written in the stones. We know it. And you don't need to be an American with a social security number and a trading account to get in on it. So we built the strategic trade team for anyone who could get funding. You have to have like $50 at least to play with, and like a team of 20 people. They'll get sponsored by a company, $1,000 to make trades, and they meet at the north side of the federal courthouse every day to make their trades at 11 a.m. or between 8 and 11. Meet at 8. Trades are done by 11. So it's like our bets. But it's like, it's ours. Because after we make these bets, we then look to see if we were right, and we don't need, we look at what came through our state that we didn't need to look at to know. And we can prove that every day. But the way that they would get their money was extorting this parking company because they were breaking the law. They like to run red lights sometimes. They think they own the world. They're like the police. They're really better than the police. They're like what do you call them? They're mercenaries that patrol the parking garages of Grand Rapids, and it's a very dangerous and very serious business. It's a really, really dangerous place. It's where you go to murder people, die, and live it. Evil spiders. There's evil telepathic spiders. There's like, you wouldn't believe this. So they run red lights. I sit up all night and I write down every time they run a red light, and I write their license plate, and I send them a letter in the mail. Like, I am cheaper than the police. I'm an alternative to the legal justice system, and that every fine that you owe us can be given to the strategic trading team of your choice. So like, they run 2 red lights, $1,000. The Boronites got money to trade with, and it's really fun because people people around the world, if they knew how fun it was, like, it's like you don't need to make a lot of money. I think it's enough to just be, like, recognized for being super knowledgeable. People born, they know, what is it? They know tires, like rubber. I don't know rubber. They know metronidazole, and metronidazole is it's like a sentient decision-making chemical that is like hard for them to deal with. It killed a lot of people in Russia because you can't mix it with alcohol. But it's a byproduct of rubber. Rubber tires, they say, are basically the absolute worst thing you could ever. But they're like, why do you guys keep buying tires? And it's like you're just flying off the road. Like, we like it. And live to die. We made a death cult watching the S-curve where everyone flies off every day. We watch it in a ballroom together, drinking daiquiris, watching people fly into the wall, 5 stories up, fall to the earth, die all day, burn alive. There's ghosts all on the highway. It's like, it's okay. It's like, they don't like that we do rubber though, because rubber is a very sensitive topic for Russians and for Boronites, because it is made of flesh. And you don't realize that, but that's what it is. It is flesh that has been incinerated in the center of the earth, and it's brought out and it's manufactured, and it's horrifying. And then that we use it for our cars, and we die even further. We don't understand. And it's like, listen, that's the kind of insight that you can bring to this, because you can, when you're in Michigan, you see the civil design in our streets, our architecture, the roads, every secret. It's been carved and put in code in stones. Watergate, everything. I found Watergate like so many times when I was a kid. I kept forgetting, and I'm like, oh my God, Watergate, because there's a stone that says like all the Arthur F. Sampson, Richard M. Nixon, and it's like carved in a stone in the city. And like, anytime there's a scandal or something evil or bad or whatever, we say, it's like, civil engineering is to, in design, reflect all of the secrets of society for generations to come and see. That was them. This is me. You can walk our streets and you can see it all. You see how every scheme through all of time that we can know about and register has been like written in the streets, and all you have to do is walk around and absorb it. There are no top secrets behind the walls. There's codes. No, we went around. They didn't let that happen. The federal building in Grand Rapids, Michigan, is like the native intelligence, like underground, and like way long time ago. They were like, no, every bad thing you white motherfuckers do, you're gonna write about it in stone. That's where the Freemasons got their whole thing from. That is their duty. I will tell the tales of my ancestors and myself in cleverly designed sidewalk stones. And they do. You see all sorts of cryptic iconography in the streets, like, huh. I spent my whole life observing it and trying to decode it. And when Kai died, I got really into secret Michigan. Drove all around the state looking for civil engineering to uncover more things. Get closer to my kid who likes morbid crucifixes. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. The Boronites. Kai is boron. I don't even know if he's that. It's just like, it's an interesting thing. I don't know what to say about rubber and Russians, but I would like to open the discussion. It's concerning. But I mean, it's fueled their economy. I just hope that that economy has done them well. And if it hasn't, then I'm sorry, because we do love our tires. And yeah, my dad at a dealership, they used to have to go up to Traverse City, 3 women in a car, to go talk to some Russian motherfuckers didn't speak any English and barter cash for stolen Volkswagen parts because it's the pandemic and no one sells them. So like, I want a brake job, and they're like, nope, you're not getting a brake job till the pandemic's over. So I let it go. I'm like, you just wait. I can't. I'm not sending them up for that part because like, I call my dude. I want this for my Jetta. No, you have to wait. Just wait. Just hold out. These guys are robbing us. They don't speak any English. They're just driving me fucking nuts. It was the only place to get parts was like Russians stole them from Hamas in the lake or some shit. So it's just, and they were like really scared of like people. So he would send his wife, his daughter, and his niece in a car, 3 of them, 3 hours to barter, try to speak their language. It's always cool, but it's just like Donald Turner. Listen, this is the last thing I'll say all night. Donald Turner is the most Russian motherfucker I ever knew. When Kai was like a year or 2 old, he used to call me all the time. Hear about Kai and all this stuff. He'd spend more time talking about his life and what he was up to. He basically spent most of Kai's life sneaking around his neighbor's junkyard, stealing parts for vodka. And then when the guy, like, called him out on it, it became like armed, they're killing each other over, like, dead batteries. They're worth, like, $20, but, like, it's everything for vodka. And it's, like, all day he's, like, sneaking around. It's the boonies of Battle Creek. The only way in is a 1-lane wooden bridge that they would move. You would come back and the bridge would be gone. It's the only way in. There's no signs, like, to tell you, like, safe on the bridge or something. It's the only way in. And then they move it if they want to, or you get out. But it's fucking crazy. And they're armed to the teeth. This is Trump Nation. This is the home of the Trump revolution. I swear to God, these people are crazy. Natives, but they're like the natives that like really fell in love with the fucked up European drunks, and they're like, let's fucking kill each other, fight till the day we die. It's like it's like a sadomasochistic love game on the boondocks, like playing fucking, yes man, I don't even know. I love it. Cause Don, he called me. I listened for an hour, just like the tales of him stealing car parts in his neighbor's yard for vodka money. He's obsessed with car parts, and he said that was why he was willing to have a baby with me, though, because he really loved that we had the same dream car. That was like the test. And like, what's your dream car? Diesel Volkswagen. Oh, no way, I'm so glad. That's like my favorite dream car. And at first I thought he was like making that up to like be a psychopath and like have things in common with me. And while he did do that, that one was actually true. And it's like it's a special bond, man. Oh, you Russian Boronites. I often think about them, like where they are now. They can be really successful. I don't know if they're still here or what, but I don't think that they had to stay in the GRCC parking garage for long. We just needed a solution, and I think the trading team provided a really great opportunity for them to join our global community of like, materials and products and money, bedding, but also like they weren't getting much out of it. It's just like it's for the joy of it. So you're just the most like all the traders in Chicago on the day floor, like they come from like Battle Creek and like Albion and like the suburbs, 3 hours from Chicago. They take the train in, but then at the end of the day they go home to their redneck redneck, like, backwoods life where they're shooting their wives and neighbors over car parts and trading things for vodka. I mean, it's like, you don't really need you don't need money. You need the things that just give you joy, you don't need to tell anyone either. Your own private bullshit. So, I'm a day trader in Chicago. And when I go to Chicago, I'm just like everyone else. It's like something takes you over, and you're like, something takes over you, and your hands start to move things in your pockets, and you don't know what's going on. All your betting slips and everything you got. And when you leave, you're like, what happened? I guess maybe I'll know, like, someday when I transcend, because it wasn't me. I don't know if you guys know that one, but this is a funny thing. The Canuck. What do you have to say about yourself? I feel like I've just been in Chicago,